Live yet?
Yeah, of course we are.
I don't know if we are. Have we made it?
Goof, I don't know, man. You look fresh today.
I don't. This is false. Whatever you.
No, I don't know what's going on. Something about you. You look like something good happened.
Loving life, I guess. That's all I gotta say. I take off these socks.
So the title of this, stream, in case you haven't seen it so far, is Devil May Cry rules, Daredevil rules, comics rules. This is a good time to be a geek. Because, like, right now, this week, everything is awesome.
So I've heard. I haven't gotten into the Devil May Cry thing, but
it's binge it whenever you want.
Okay, that's what it is. All right.
Yeah.
I saw it for the raw reasons though, because I saw somebody say something about it, and I was just like, oh man, like this again, bro. Like we're still doing this thing.
What
man.
are we doing? What are the sad people saying?
Somebody
what are the beta male cucks saying?
They were just like, no, it was actually someone that chooses to fight the cucks, to be fair. And it was somebody who was just like, oh, it's woke, but nobody's saying nothing about it now, huh? And I was just like,
what? It's Devil May fucking Cry. It's stupid.
Hey, I have to take his word for it. I don't know.
At some point, we're going to have to draw a line in the sand and actually define things that are woke and things that are just normal.
I have no idea what any.
No, like there's got to be a line, and it's got to be like, no, like gay people exist, like they're around. I promise you, like they're not. It's not woke to talk about gay people. They're people. They've been around for a long time, and in America, they've had rights for a long time. To like, we're not in the 80s, like in the early 90s anymore. Like people are doing, well, we're just gonna recast this as this. I'm like, I don't care. Like whatever. Like okay, great. Is the story good? Is it an animated cartoon with blood and gore? Yeah, I'm gonna be real chill on the story. Like you know what I mean? Like okay,
that's always been my sort of thing. I'm like, if the story is good, I don't really care what it is. Like if it has a good enough compelling story, it's not boring, it's not stupid. Actually, it being stupid is actually not a it's not a
Wolverine
thing against
was
it.
Dumb as fuck. Still
like,
fun.
Yeah, it just has to be fun. If it's fun, I'm good with it. But I think a lot of people are just like, whatever.
Did you ever see Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, I did.
I always when people ask me about like Tarantino stuff, like whenever I start talking about Tarantino, they're like, oh, what did you think of Inglourious Bastards? I have to say it in a very weird way. I end up saying like, it's the worst. No, I don't like the movie as much as I love parts of the movie. My dislike of that movie. Oh, good, I can make you bigger now. My dislike of that movie, because I don't know, the movie itself is kind of stupid.
Never what she has ever said. Hey, good.
Right? Yeah, like, nice. Like the movie itself is dumb. And Tarantino movies generally are fucking stupid. But
I mean, yeah, right. Prerequisite
inside Tarantino movies, there's like a handful of scenes that are just actual fucking masterpieces, and even an average person who has no understanding of cinematography or storytelling or anything like that, visual storytelling, etc., they're like, I like that scene. I don't know why I like that scene, but I like that scene. And I always say, like, there's like 3 scenes in that movie that are like among the best scenes in movies. The first scene with Christoph Waltz finding the guy who's hiding the Jews in the and under the floorboards.
Yep.
That scene is fucking brilliant. The scene where the like pretend Nazis are in the Nazi bar, like that entire scene is like, oh my God, everything about that scene is insane. Like down to tiny, like it's so fucking good. And then the scene where like Christoph Waltz again is negotiating with Brad Pitt and BJ Novak, and and like I can describe it, I don't feel like right now, but like this particular scene, it starts. He has a bottle of liquor, a bunch of glasses, and a telephone. And as the scene progresses, he's handing glasses out to them. He pushes the telephone closer to them. And like it's kind of a visual storytelling of at the beginning of the scene, Christoph Waltz had all the power in the conversation. And slowly but surely, the other characters gained all of the power in the conversation. And it's a tiny scene. You wouldn't notice it, but your brain notices it. So that's why, like, I think the movie's stupid. I don't like it, and I wouldn't watch it, but there are scenes in that movie I'd rewatch many times. And that's kind of where I am with, like, anything else. Like, to be a great movie, you have to be more than just the first time I've ever seen it. It needs to stand up to review. I need to be like wanting to go into it, understanding like, wow, that's a really cool scene. And that's why like Marvel movies have never been truly great, with a handful of exceptions, but they've all been good. Probably. Every single one, with the exception of like Thor: The Dark World and the Marvels, have been good.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, the movie, like there are great movies, and then there are movies that are good movie. They're good movies to watch. Like I didn't hate them. I like parts of it. There's parts of it where I'm just like, well, I typically tend to forget about certain those parts, and I just hatch on to certain like the very specific ones, right? And that's kind of what for me, Deadpool and Wolverine were like from an MCU perspective, right? Like that's kind of how I view those type of movies. But then there's other movies, outside of that genre where I'm just like, yeah, like I liked Inception, but parts of that movie were dumb. But I liked Inception. I thought it was a good overall movie. Great cliffhanger at the end, right? There's a lot of different movies that I look at in sort of like that particular light and same way. And I'm at this point now where I kind of just take movies for what they are. I don't try to go too far into hoping that they will be something else. Now, I'm going to talk about it because we're on a podcast, so therefore I'm going to berate it if I need to. But at the same time, for the most part, I'm just like, hey, at least we got the art, and then we kind of go from there. I can choose whether to watch it or not watch it again, right? That's my decision. But typically, like you said, if it's good, usually I'm watching it a second time, watching it a third time. And then that's when the conversations become, oh no, this is a great movie. And there are some exceptions in the MCU that are great movies. You have Captain America: Winter Soldier. That to me is one that I always go back and say that was a great movie. Infinity War, another great movie. And then really it's like those two and then a few others that kind of stay within that realm, in my opinion.
Yeah, like movies, I always say, sign of a great movie is wanting to watch it multiple times, and the ability for anyone who knows or doesn't know anything about what's going on to appreciate it.
Yep.
And because Devil May Cry came out, me and a couple of my friends offline were talking about like other Capcom shit that has sucked and other video game movies that have sucked. It's like, for every good, like the Minecraft movie dropped last week, and it made like I think 160 million opening weekend or something. So I was like, let's watch it. So me and a bunch of people watched it. We're like, this movie sucks. But like, but like, it doesn't matter because it wasn't for people. Remember?
Right.
Like, it's not even for like teenagers. It's for kids. It's for dumb kids.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Why did they cast Jason Momoa and Jack Black? So that people who aren't dumb kids are like, oh, maybe it'll be funny. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like it was the premise was stupid. Everything about the movie was stupid, and like okay, but it made a shit ton of money. Does that mean it's good? No, it means it's good at making money.
Right.
But I'm not going to shit on it. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, what a travesty. Like I'm not going to break the Minecraft movie down. Like what? No, you know what it's about. Dumb shit. Like it's kid shit.
It's Minecraft.
Yeah. It's the same thing Minecraft was for. Like,
yeah,
I'm bored. Let me pretend this game matters. Like,
yep.
I don't know. I like video game movies and TV shows and everything like that. Last of Us is a good example. They changed stuff in The Last of Us for the TV show.
Okay.
It from the game, but like, who cares? It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If I wanted, this is a historical thing. I don't ever want a shot-for-shot remake of something in live action, right? Like, and
you already
want to
gotten the original, right?
Well, the reason I don't want that is because Disney's doing that now, and it sucks.
Yep.
Like, we're gonna do shot-for-shot live-action remakes of all these movies, and like, pretty much all of them suck, except like, I'm gonna say 1.5, maybe a solid 2. Beauty and the Beast fucking ruled.
Beauty and the Beast was good.
Aladdin was
wasn't
okay.
Terrible.
No,
it was
okay.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's the half one I'm giving it. Like they changed the message of Aladdin. They're like, no, Jasmine can be the Sultana, and I'm like, no, she can't.
Yeah.
In 2025, absolutely she can. She should be.
Right.
In Agrabah.
Yeah.
Lucky they gave her fucking speaking roles. If we're like that's the willing suspension of disbelief that she wasn't constantly chained up. That like that was like. That she got to wear that outfit without getting stoned to death. Like,
right.
There's things you can change to make the story more palatable. And then there's things you can change that are in addition that make the story more palatable, but now you're telling a different story.
Right. And that was 100%. That was my main thing with Aladdin. I'm like, I get it. Male empowerment, all for it. However, my logical brain cannot turn this off. the fact that she's in this time, this doesn't make full on sense. But okay.
Hey, do me a favor. Go name I want you to name every Disney movie where the protagonist is a male character. Specifically Disney.
Specifically Disney?
Yeah, where the main character is a male.
I just watch all kid stuff now, so I'm recency biased. I can't think of anything other than Aladdin.
So Aladdin and Lion King. That's it.
Lion King. That's right.
Aladdin and Lion King are the only two Disney movies where the main character I don't know if Nightmare Before Christmas is Disney or counts as Disney or if they just own it or what I
yeah.
So like that sure that one counts I guess. Because like Tim Burton didn't direct it, his name is just attached to it. It's a weird story with Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay. But like there's only 2. And interesting that like with the exception of like the really old ones like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White, they're part of their age. They're part of their time. They're a product of their era, and those can be updated a little. Look, there's no reason with that. The problem is Snow White. When you have Gal Gadot asking the mirror on the wall who the fairest one of all is, and then you have Gal Gadot,
yeah,
and then you have Rachel fucking Zegler, and the mirror has to look straight faced at this woman and be like, actually, dude, there's this fucking chick who's hotter than you.
Yeah.
And like at that point, Gal Gadot's got to be like, no,
Yeah. Okay.
like you're wrong. So then they're like, okay, so clearly we can't tell that story because we've casted very poor. It's like you remember the Barbie movie? I don't know if you ever saw the Barbie movie. There's a scene
I've never seen.
Oh, it's really good movie. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's a very fun movie. There's a scene where like Margot Robbie as Barbie says like, I'm just an average looking girl, nothing like could happen. And then there's a pause, like an actual pause, and a narrator over voice says, perhaps if the directors and casting of crew of this movie wanted to drive this point home, they wouldn't have cast Margot Robbie to play Barbie. And I'm like, chef's kiss, wonderful. Like exactly, like because they understand that that's kind of a fucking joke, but like that's the point. Like, oh, I know, we'll tell the story about fair in terms of like who the best ruler would be, and it's like, hey, guess what the evil queen does not nor would ever give a shit about,
right?
Whether she was a good ruler. That's kind of her deal. Like she killed she married and killed her husband for power. She didn't care about coming into it with love. Like the premise is stupid. You see the point I'm making? You want to tell a story that does those things? Great. There are stories that already do that. And then you could also, this is crazy, it's gonna blow your mind, tell an original fucking story. The problem is, it's not gonna make money.
Right.
Or it might not. It's not fair. I don't want to say that. It might not make money.
But
if you take something that you think will make money.
How did Wish do? How did Wish do in
dog shit? Wish sucked anus.
Oh man, that sucks.
Wish was bad, man. Wish was like a bomb. I think the biggest thing about Wish was it was what sparked the, oh no, they're already using AI for movies. Because everyone's like, Wish has to be an AI movie. Okay. And it's crazy because today, like right now, as an adult, I could put on the original animation of Aladdin, the original animation of The Lion King, even Moana. I could watch Moana right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the message is clear and confident, and it wasn't about who you are, but about who you chose to be. All those movies were. Every single one. Moana was a girl. Could have been a boy. Didn't matter. Just happened to be a girl who chose to be who she was. Even fucking Frozen, to some extent, was like that.
Yeah, Frozen had a different story for sure.
Yeah, so like there's plenty of stories. Not every story has to be warped, because the God's honest truth, and I keep saying it and no one ever fucking believes me, is that the loudest voices on the internet are also the people that spend the least fucking money. Do you know why? Because they're on the internet all the fucking time.
They're not going to go see anything. Yeah.
Yeah, like what are they doing? Are they shopping? They're buying stuff? They're not paying fucking money. They're on T Fury or whatever the website is that has T-shirts that occasionally say like "fuck Trump." You know, like, oh, okay, great, congratulations on your T-shirt you bought. Someone made money off that.
Yeah,
you could just make a T-shirt that says that. Like, you don't have to spend money on $25. It's always so dumb to me when that happens. But like the people who cry the loudest are people who are not contributing anything at all, except their own conversation to an echo chamber of whatever, because, you know,
one of the funniest things to me
social media filters out dissension.
There was a content creator, I won't name names, but I'm pretty sure people would know, but there was a content creator, and I'm like, hey, do your thing. But at the same time, there's a content creator that made a video about how The Acolyte sucks. And he never watched the show. he never watched the show. He never watched the show. No.
That sounds like neurotic.
But within the same realm. Within the same realm. I think
is it the British guy whose name I don't fucking remember?
Critical Drinker.
Oh, Critical Drinker watched the show.
at the time when he made the video, he had not watched the show. All he did was pull up reviews on the video on the show.
Oh,
he had not watched the show. Yeah.
Yeah, Critical Drinker is like one of those people where I always call it the Andrew Tate theory.
I gotta plug in my kid's tablet. Give me a second.
I believe you. I call it the Andrew Tate theory, which is like you make a good point. Because you do. There's a good point there. And then you make another good point. And you're like, okay. And then you make another good point. And you're like, I could see that. And then at some point between like your third good point and your end goal, something shifts in that. Like, you're like, dude, there's a male loneliness epidemic. And you're like, that's probably true. That makes sense. I know a lot of dudes who just ain't fucking right now. You know what I mean? Like, all right, yeah, sure, cool. And they're like, and honestly, a lot of it is because, you know, the societal pressures have changed. I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying. And it's because hoes. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, it's not. It's because we've coddled men for too fucking long.
Oh,
because,
good.
like, I always said, like, when we were streaming, I always say, like, dude, I have nothing but respect for the fucking titty streamers on Twitch. Because someone's paying for it. It ain't me. I'm not paying for it. But someone is. And, someone is. If there's a market, fucking sell. I don't care if you have an opinion on it. You're like, oh, she's... can you believe these people? Yes, I can. Because it's happening. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Can you believe that this person makes $100,000 a month on OnlyFans? I'm like, yeah. Because
yes, we do.
Because someone once made $20,000 a month, and then it became a race to the bottom. Like, what are we talking about here? Of course.
That's the best. That's the best part about it.
So, like, it's the same thing. Like, whenever, like, you can make really good points, but eventually, your really good points, you're either going to change who you are to fit the demographic you need to grow, or the mask is going to slip and you're going to start saying things, you know, that like you were trying to hide, like the old phrase of dog whistling.
Yeah.
Like, here, I have a perfect example of a dog whistle. Hey, anyone ever say you were articulate?
My gosh, yeah.
That's a dog whistle. People don't know that. That's a dog whistle. That's a shitty thing to say. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
There was an old, I don't know, I think it was Key and Peele skit where they were talking about a white quarterback and a black defensive back or cornerback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was like every time they were talking about the white quarterback, they're like cerebral. like poise under pressure. And every time they were talking about the quarterback, they were like freak beast. Like, I was just like, that's what happens. It's fucking dog whistling racism. Like, what are you doing here, man? Fucking chill. Man. Like, and that's kind of what ends up happening. And it goes both ways too. Like, you can dog whistle, like, dog whistle is just like, it's virtue signaling. That's all it is, right? It's different words are used in the same way. But, like, one is like, no, I also believe that trans women shouldn't play in sports on one side. You're like, oh, what? That's stupid. Why are we talking about this? No one watches women's sports anyway. Who cares? Like, why are we wasting time talking about this? And then the other side of the conversation is like, the tariffs are gonna, like, dude, we're making the same arguments. Like, what are we doing? Why? So I can't really watch somebody. I'll watch sometime if it makes me laugh. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it because it makes me laugh. Like Ryan George, he does the what is that fucking thing called? Pitch meetings.
Okay, yeah, those are funny.
They're super funny.
Yeah,
and for the most part, he takes equal shots at everything. Like, it's a pretty fair and balanced shot call. Where he's like, oh, this is this type of thing? It's really dumb. Oh, it's this type of thing? It's also really dumb. So, like, finding that middle ground to be able to poke fun at everything, and more importantly, realizing that there's things about you and what you do and like that can be poked fun of. Like, that's important.
Yeah.
But, like, the worst, so now that you mentioned Critical Drinker, I don't mind Critical Trigger's videos because they tend to be funny, but he does a podcast, right?
Oh, and he does. Okay.
Yeah, because I like when you watch videos occasionally, it's like, oh hey, and some of the people in his podcast,
yeah,
I'm just like, oh, this dude hasn't seen his dick in years. You could just hear it, you know? You're like, oh no.
Oh man.
What is happening? It's like grown men, like grown ass men. I have some fucking stuff. Like I have a couple of pop vinyls. I got some posters around. You know what I mean? I have a couple of things, right? Somewhere in the general vicinity of me right now is a big ass Piplup from Pokemon. It's a stuffed animal, and it was a gift. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in this room. I don't know where it is, but it's adorable. And I have a giant it's a massive fucking stuffed animal. I used to buckle it up in my passenger seat, and I was driving because it was fun. People, yeah, because people would be like, "What the fuck?" I would actually make people sit in the back seat of my truck. I'd be like, "Oh no, you can't sit in the front. Piplup's there," and he's just. They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Are you gonna unbuckle him?" No, it's better to just get to back. I'm like, "That's right, back of the fucking truck, motherfucker." Like, what are we doing here?
Okay, all right.
But like, I don't do that anymore. But like, it was fun. It was funny. These are grown ass men that have like.
I gotta watch this podcast now, man. I gotta watch it.
Oh no, don't.
I need to
like,
now.
I'm just saying, like these grown ass men whose backgrounds is just like $12,000 worth of random Star Wars and fucking, you know, like I got this lightsaber and I got this original Boba Fett figure from. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm telling you, I want to watch it now, bro.
Who are you? Don't even worry about who you are, because if that's who you are, great. Clearly you're comfortable with it because you're going live with it. I need you to worry about the people that see that and think that you're worth watching, because those are the fucking monsters. Like that's and like it doesn't matter at some point, you know, I think Rick and Morty said it. It was like, doesn't matter if you're right. Sometimes no one wants to give you the fucking satisfaction. And like that's not a place you want to be. I've been that person. I've lived that life. I understand that, you know, like I've been like, listen, sometimes it does matter if you're right. Sometimes it doesn't. So if I say something and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure this is right, then I'm pretty sure this is right. And if I'm wrong, oh, my bad. I didn't know. But like, I'm not losing sleep over being right or wrong on some things. But the other time, I'm like, what are we doing here? Why are we pretending? So like, when it comes to Devil May Cry, this is all from Devil May Cry, by the way.
I mean, come on now.
The last 28 minutes of this conversation has been that Devil May Cry on Netflix is fucking hilarious, and the soundtrack is the best part because the theme song to the actual series is "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit, and when that first hit, I was like, "Go fuck yourself," and then I was like, no, wait, this actually fits perfectly. Because this is the kind of song that came out when I started playing Devil May Cry. Like, yeah, of course it is. 2002, you know? 2004. Yeah. It's fun. It's silly. It's stupid. And if honest to God, if at this point, if woke is something that's so impactful for you, I just have to say, you're a weak person. Like you're just, there's things I go like, oh, that's gross. And I stop watching and then shut the fuck up about it because I'm a man. You know what I mean? Because I got other shit to do, like building bridges and rocket ships. Like I got science to do, motherfucker. I don't have to worry about whether they cast the wrong skin color person on like what are we doing?
If that like people are still talking about that, by the way.
For what?
Reed Richards. What do you mean? For what? I still hear people talking.
People
about
are saying that. I have not seen that. We travel different groups, my friend. I haven't seen one shit on Pedro Pascal being Hispanic.
it's not gonna be it's not the headliner. It's not the headliner. It's if you're watching a video, people will say it within a video. If you're talking about something Fantastic Four, like people will still say it. Like, hey, I still don't know if Pedro Pascal is the right actor for this. Blah blah blah. People will say it in midst of conversation. It's not the headliner for their video, the headliner for the article or clip or whatever. It's just baked within the actual content itself that it's being.
Oh, I agree with it, but I also like fucking can't do anything about it. So like, you know, like I don't know that Pedro Pascal is. I think like he's very capable. Like we're talking about it. That's our thing. Like he's very capable as an actor to do it. Like no question. I just don't know that that's where I would have thought to go. And but it's happening, and I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. But that always happens, right? I can't believe they cast fucking Heath Ledger to play the Joker. These same people, oh man, Heath Ledger was the best fucking Joker. No, he wasn't. And also, no, he wasn't. But like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Heath Ledger made his mark. So,
Ben Affleck's gonna be a dog shit Batman. Can you believe that they cast fucking the guy from Twilight to play Batman? It's gonna suck. Like it's almost like actors could play multiple goddamn fucking roles.
What?
And millions of dollars are on the line to make sure the right actor gets the role. He probably did a good enough job. Are we gonna make fun of it? Yeah, that dude sparkled in the sunlight. Of course we're gonna fucking make fun of him. He was sparkly. Are we gonna?
He was a good sparkly.
It was a good sparkly for what it's worth. But like, are we gonna really pretend that fucking matters? Like, no, Batman was great. I still love the Batman. Yeah, and every now and then I get a piece of message. I get news every now and then. It's like, oh, the Batman's Part 2 is being pushed again. It's gonna be out in 2027. I'm like, yeah, probably. I already forgot about it. So like, whenever it comes out, I'm either gonna forget completely or just be pleasantly surprised. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Nothing is worse than Blade, so I think at this point I'm okay with whatever we get.
We're never getting Blade.
Nothing is worse than Blade.
If we get Blade, it's gonna be in a Midnight Suns movie. We're never getting Blade.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think we're getting Blade either.
Do you know why?
Why? I mean, is it still Mahershala? It's still him, right? Like he's not a fan of the.
No, that's not why. Hey, Goofy.
What is it then? Yeah.
How much money minimum, right? Minimum.
Yeah.
Would you accept to write a screenplay right now? If somebody said,
I have no idea.
Okay. No. If somebody exactly, you have no idea. Yeah. If somebody said, "Hey, I'll write I need you to write the screenplay. I'll give you X dollars." What does that X have to be for you to be like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." Like a serious shot.
X dollars?
Yeah.
Just
$20,000
to write a full movie script.
Yeah, like a screenplay, yeah. You have 6 months.
6 months?
You have 6 months. At the end of 6 months.
A few thousand, yeah, right?
Not a lot, right? The point is not a shit ton for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine their budget was any amount of money, and imagine their pool of talent was any number of fucking people. If they wanted a Blade fucking movie, they'd have a Blade fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? You know what they wanted? They wanted the Marvels. They wanted the Marvels, and they got the Marvels. They wanted Captain America 4, so they changed the name of Captain America 4, and then they changed the story of Captain America 4, and then they changed the premise of Captain America 4. And then they changed everything about Captain America 4, and then they reshot things in Captain America 4. It got done. Did it get done well? No. If they wanted a Blade movie, they'd have a Blade movie. If they, like that's it.
I'm still in the mindset of like, why though? Like, why is it that it's still taking such a long? I don't know. And why they still
nobody because they're losing money. Because Captain America fucking broke even.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe made a couple mil. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because why are they going to go try a Blade movie with their fucking idiots, with the people who work for them who've been pumping out dog shit on dog shit on dog shit? Why do they have any faith in any of the shit that they do? If you were like, Tony, I need a Blade movie. Like, you have 6 months to write a script.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, send drafts every month. I have never written a script like that in my life. But you better believe if you're paying me a certain amount of money, if you're paying me $10,000 to write the script, you're going to get, I'm going to do the fucking research. I'm going to figure out, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be like, I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to have it write the fucking outline. And then I'm going to read some fucking comic books and some storylines and some shit. And then come up with something I think will be cool. And if that's my job, if that's what I get paid to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just doing like simple math of $10,000 for like a couple months. $10,000 over 6 months is not great, but like $10,000 over, like, but like, you know, like we'll call it like, we'll give you $3,000 a month. We'll say that. You're gonna give me $3,000 a month to do that. That's a reasonable salary. It's a little bit higher than average, I think. Right? It's like 62,000. No, it's $36,000 a year. So it's just under the average, but still, like, I don't have to drive. I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit at home and write this fucking script, and I'm getting paid at the end of the 6 months. I'm getting paid for it, whether they take it or not. I'm gonna fucking put a script together. I'm going to do my fucking best, because if it's good and it gets picked up, there's probably more money. I might do it again. You know, like, I get it. I'm not trying to diminish what people do. I'm just saying you have this much money, you have this much time, and you have a pool of people who do this for a fucking living. If you want it done, you can get it done. You just don't want it done because you have no confidence in any of your bullshit. 90% of your shit is CGI. Nobody fucking cares anymore.
So that's my only like pushback on it. They care about getting it done. They're just afraid to get it done. That's really the way I look at it. They know that Blade can't bomb. Like, they know that Blade cannot bomb, because everybody's going to compare it to Blade, Wesley Snipes' Blade. You cannot screw this up. And they're afraid of screwing it up.
Because they will screw it up.
So therefore they're just like, okay, I'll just write
Thunderbolts is the only movie that I feel like they could have given no fucks about, and whatever happens, happens. And I feel like they were just like, they stumbled onto a good movie from everything I've seen. So I stopped watching trailers. I'm like, no.
Here.
Like, once you made the sale, I don't want to see anything else. I don't want to know anything else. If someone's like, what is the Thunderbolts actually about? I'm like, I'm not watching that video. I don't want to know, because I can't, like, trust it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Daredevil time. Go. Talk about Daredevil. I just gotta fix my camera.
So, Daredevil. I left that episode saying to myself, wow, Daredevil has to deliver. Because you set up now a pretty good premise, and you have to follow up on it. Like what you did at the very end of that episode, you cannot go in here kind of half-assing it anymore. Like, it has to mean something. And I thought it was a bold move by them to do that, because now the question becomes, hey, are we doing that thing again where you bring a character to the brink of death only to then bring them back from the brink of death by some crazy thing? Like, are we doing that thing again? Or is this like legitimately, like, you're gonna make a story out of this now, like an act, like there's gonna be a cliffhanger at the end? Like, to me personally, I thought it would have been bolder if they made that the finale. Like, that would have been ballsy.
Tim said that. Tim said, I almost feel like they should have not shown who got shot.
Yes. Like, if you had made that the finale, I'd have been like, chef kiss. Beautiful. Beautiful. So now it's like, so what are you gonna do now? Like, where do you take this now? How does he survive this? Because we know he survives this, right? But it's like, how
he got
does
a
he
shot
survive
like
this?
his shot was like, it wasn't his heart or his lungs. It was like either his arm, his upper shoulder. Like, it was a bad shot.
The way that he was on the floor, like Foggy was in the very beginning, I'm like, okay, so it's a little bit of, so you're duplicating this a little bit here. You're trying to give us the same feel that we got when we saw Foggy in the first episode. Okay, cool.
Also,
I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I was eating it
he
up.
took a bullet for Fisk, a guy who seconds earlier.
That was my next point. Yeah.
Seconds earlier, he's like, I'm gonna beat him in front of these motherfuckers. Like,
Yeah. So that was my next point. My next point was gonna be, okay, I like the psychology of it, because here is Daredevil, Matt Murdock, who was like, I'm coming after you. Then he finds out that it was Vanessa, which not entirely confirmed, but basically confirmed.
it was. She said it was me.
She said it, yeah.
It was me, Austin.
But then you save Fisk. Is it because we've known this forever now that you need Fisk? That you low key know that he's necessary for you? So I like the psychology of it too. Like, I thought that was pretty good. Mr. Poindexter, man. First and foremost, I have nothing else to say about him. I just wanted to say his name because I just think it's the
Benjamin
most ridiculous name
Poindexter.
I think it's the most ridiculous name in the Marvel universe. It's his name, Poindexter. I can't get over it. Never will be able to get over it. But yeah, good episode. Like I said, I just said that they've set some stakes now that are really hard for them to live up to. So now I'm curious. That's all for now.
I like how the episode. So now that we're getting a little bit more information about season 2, I like that it's not, this is half. This isn't season 1. This is Daredevil Born Again Part 1.
Part 1. Mm-hmm.
And as we said last week, episodes 1, 8, and 9 are the new showrunner. Episode 5 was the old showrunner. And everything else is a mishmash.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 8, and 9 are all new.
Right.
They were all completely reworked scenes. 5 was the only scene that was the only episode that was complete and intact from the previous showrunner, and everything between. So 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7.
And that's why they pulled it in with the release of 6.
So they were like, we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're going to get the new showrunner to see what he likes and what he doesn't, and to fix the story. And, last week I was like, episode 7 was kind of rough. They killed Muse off real fast. And now I'm like, good. It was kind of a waste, but good. because we can't have Muse around here because we're getting the real bad guys.
Yeah.
You know, like, whatever this season is, I'm confident that in the finale, we may see a cameo of a Joe Bernthal, a Karen Ann Wall, you know, a Punisher, Karen Page. We may see some cameos of these people. But we are 100% going to see all of these people in season 2.
Yep.
Karen is going to be in season 2. This was a let's make the best of what we. This is like, all right, I burned some of the dinner, so we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to, you know, like, I'm going to cut off the pieces of the chicken that I burned, and then I'm going to add it, and I'm going to also make like you know, like some mashed potatoes and stuff. And that's kind of what this season was. Could have been better, could have been worse, but right now I'm happy with it and I'm enjoying it. And I want this to have a bittersweet cliffhanger ending so that when season 2 hits, which to my understanding is probably later this year.
Yep.
Because they're already filming.
That was the beginning of next year, but
well, they're already filming it right now.
Okay.
So you know, when it's done and when they choose to release it, who's to fucking say, right?
Yeah.
I don't, and it could be beginning of next year, could be the end of this year, whatever. We know it's not going to be. If it is the beginning of next year, it's going to be the beginning of next year, like January, February, you know, like early on.
You got a couple other things hitting this year too, right? I mean, Ironheart's coming out later on this year. Wonder Man is hitting this year, or is that done now?
Wonder Man's the only one I care about. Hold on, I actually have the information right here. What do we have?
I'm actually looking forward to Ironheart. That actually looked pretty decent.
Ironheart does look good because it's got Mephisto.
Yeah.
So we have Daredevil Born Again. They haven't announced when season 2 is going to be released. So we have Thunderbolts in May, Ironheart in June, Fantastic Four in July, Eyes of Wakanda animated. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I'll watch it. I'm not saying I won't watch it. I'm just saying I don't care.
Right.
Marvel Zombies, literally nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wonder Man, which is December. There's absolutely no way Wonder Man is gonna do anything. Like, it's too late in the story time for us to be introducing major characters to the MCU right before Doomsday.
I don't really understand Wonder Man in reality, but okay. I'm intrigued. I'll let it cook. Whatever.
May 1st next year is Doomsday. July 31st is Spider-Man Brand New Day. And then Doctor Strange 3 has been announced for at some time. Avengers Secret Wars is May 2027. So May 2026, there's only 2 movies and nothing else is announced to actually be coming out. They've mentioned some things like Nova and Armor Wars and stuff like that. So we don't know.
I thought those things were kind of scrapped. I could be wrong, though.
I've only heard more about who they're casting in Nova, so I don't know if it's scrapped or not. But again, they don't actually scrap anything. See, it's a brilliant business decision. What you do is you tell everybody you're going to do something, and then you never fucking talk about it again. And then other people find out information about it, and then you never fucking talk about it again. And when people are like, hey, where's this thing? You trick yourself into thinking that means people want it, so you release whatever dog shit you have. Like, their business model sucked for the last couple of years. So, like, that's where Blade is right now. Everyone's like, we're never getting a Blade movie. Because they haven't officially canceled it. Because they're not gonna officially cancel it. Because the second they officially cancel it, they have to officially fucking uncancel it. You know, that the you know, but if they say nothing, they could be like, oh, we've been just waiting for the right time. They could lie. The difference is, and this is the one that bugs me the most, or this is to their benefit, honestly, which is something else that bugs me. Unlike Fox, Sony, and, you know, some, no, Fox and Sony are the only two. But unlike those two, Marvel doesn't have a time constraint.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Sony and Fox, if they have a use it or lose it fucking clause, had a use it or lose it fucking clause, right? Fox was like, if you don't make another X-Men anything in any amount of time, you lose it. So that's why they were pumping out X-Men movies, and they're like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta get it out, we gotta get it out. And the first X-Men movies, X-Men and X2, were significantly better movies than most of the other X-Men movies. X3 sucked. X-Men First Class, I think, was a fine movie. It was a really good movie because they were like, we have time, we don't have to rush it. But every movie after that was like, just pump it out, just make your cash, just go. And the same thing with all the Fantastic Four shit. So like, Blade was New Line Cinema. That's right, I forgot that. They had to. Disney doesn't have to. Disney doesn't have to ever make any movie. They could just make whatever. They're fucking making a Wonder Man TV show. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know, they're doing a Thunderbolts movie. Like, what are we talking about? They can do whatever they want whenever they want. What they want to do right now is mutants. That's where they believe their money is. They believe that if they make a good X-Men movie, they will recover 100% of the shit that the multiverse saga was.
Okay. That's a bold claim.
That's what they believe, right? It has to be. Why do you think they're shitting on everything right now? Why do you think they're like, well, we're killing Kang, we're doing Doomsday, we're going to figure out how this works, we're going to throw in as many X-Men characters so people are like, X-Men, we know the X-Men, and then we're going to drop, and like, they have an untitled mutant movie scheduled. Like, we don't know anything about it, but they've been casting for it.
Yeah.
We don't know. What is it? It's the post fucking Secret Wars mutant movie. That's it.
So,
and I have no idea what Sony's up to. What are they up to right now? Because they're definitely not making movies. They're definitely not doing any more Spider-Man shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought that they had said that they were kind of slowing that down a little bit. Maybe I was wrong on what that may have meant, but I guess I was under the impression that was what they were doing.
Hey, you ever hear of Sony making good ideas or making good decisions? No, they said that as a response. They don't know. Amy Pascal's an idiot. Like, they don't know what they're fucking doing. Like, they're just gonna reboot their own Spider-Man franchise, and they're just like waiting until either the events of Secret Wars, where it makes sense for them to be like, we're gonna try to rewrite stuff, because the entire time, they've been acting like the little brother of Marvel Studios. Yep. They've been like, Big Brother's doing this, so I'm gonna do this too, and I'm gonna hang out. And Big Brother's like, dude, we're not fucking hanging out. Just because you followed me on your bike to the mall doesn't mean we came to the mall together. I went to the mall, you followed me to the mall. And that's what they've been doing. And that's why every single movie is like, oh, we're going to put Vulture at the end of Morbius. Vulture was in that movie. Maybe it's the same. Guys, it's like the MCU. It's all connected. And it's like, it's not connected. They're not connected at all. You don't have Spider-Man. You can't have Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. Why are you wasting? Why are you taking Spider-Man's villain characters and making them heroes? You don't, because you're an idiot, because you suck. That's because you suck. It's because you suck. Everyone, you suck. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many years in the business. You suck. You suck at this. If you were good at this, you'd be making money. The studio would be making money. People wouldn't be. Two idiots on a podcast wouldn't be calling you idiots. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, no, you suck. You could have made a Morbius movie. It could have been a horror movie. You could have made a good series of good series of Venom fucking movies. You could have made an entire fucking Sinister Six movie of criminals. You could have made movies with Spider-Man. Well, we had a contract. You fucked up. You signed the contract. That's on you. Cast somebody else. No, see, the reason why they could have got they could have got fucking what's his tits to come back. Anybody. They could have cast another Spider-Man. They could have get anybody to be Spider-Man. They could do anything they wanted. But they're like, no, as long as we have Tom Holland as Spider-Man, we can pretend we're like the MCU.
Yeah.
And it worked. They tricked people into going to these movies. They tricked people into being in these movies. You know? Dakota Fanning said she fired her fucking agent because he didn't tell them it wasn't. He told her it was a Marvel movie. He didn't tell them it was a Sony Marvel movie.
Yep.
Like
that poor little girl. That poor little girl.
Imagine how and you know he knew. He's an agent in Hollywood. He knows. Like, that dude snuck that under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. I want to talk about comics. We don't really talk about comics a lot.
No, we don't.
I've been reading some comics this week. Catching up on some stuff.
Have you read?
Yeah. What?
Ivan?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, what have you read?
I'm all caught up on Doom.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
That's solid. Yep.
I have a list of things I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Where is it?
Should I look on stream now?
No, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm just looking at my list.
Okay.
Most of them have been Marvel. Okay. The one I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
Have you been reading Spider-Man?
Depends on which one you're talking about. 8 Deaths?
ASM.
Yeah, that I think that was a part of 8 Deaths. Are you talking about the one with Doom making him?
No, but that was great.
Of Earth?
No.
Okay.
You know who? Did you see the new Venom?
Yeah. Yes, I believe I have actually.
My little Post-it note.
Yeah.
It's a list of comics I've been reading, like catching up on, and one is Venom with like 40 question marks. Like I held question mark down, and then the word why at the end, no question marks.
Yeah.
But
We've been asking ourselves the same question.
So, because we're kind of we're a little burying the lead on this. Spoilers for anyone who
I've been keeping up with comics.
Who's not currently watching comics or currently reading what's going on in comics. All right. I haven't read any of the Ultimates, so I don't want to talk about that, but I want to read more of them because that seems to be really good.
Oh, that's where everything that's good right now in Marvel Comics is.
Yeah. That I know. I've read like the lead up to that where the maker made it.
Yeah.
I've read that. So all new Venom has finally been revealed.
Yep.
And just to put a little bit of perspective, you know what? I will actually share a screen. Let me pull up. Give me a sec. I'll pull up the Legion of Comic Geeks on this. Because I think this got... Yeah, here it is. Okay, cool. I'll pull up my screen on this one. Where is... Nope. Here. Here we go. So here's the all-new Venom. And we've been... These are the variants that we have. Is Madame Mask Venom? Where is it?
I don't know. She could be.
Where is it? Is Robbie Robertson Venom? These are the alternate covers. By the way.
I don't know. He potentially
is Rick
could
Jones Venom?
Maybe.
Is Luke Cage Venom? When I saw this cover, I was like, yo.
Did you get excited?
Yo, please let Luke Cage be Venom.
Yeah. And then.
Did you know they re-released the comic?
They re-released the comic? That's a bold move, bro.
Already. They printed it and they asked everybody. I asked my comic book store guy. He's like, yeah, they said, do you want any of the second print? And they never asked that. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, the second print's going to be relevant. So he's like, yeah, I'll pick up a couple. Here it is. The second print. Fucking Mary Jane Watson as Venom.
All right. So here's the thing. So we covered this on Keeping It Comic. So I'm kind of being a little facetious here, obviously, with all this stuff. By far, one of the most disappointing things ever in the past. I don't even know how many years. It was incredibly disappointing. And what makes it more disappointing is the fact that
she's still dating Paul.
Yeah. But also, if they had gone with Paul, I would have almost respected it more.
If they made
been like,
Paul
damn, that's
Venom,
a ballsy move. That's a ballsy move. Bro.
No.
I would be like, that's
40 chess. That's 40 chess there, bro. If they made Paul Venom, I'd have been like, yo, now I hate Venom the way Peter Parker hates Venom. Good on you, Marvel. You got the balls. This is like, like,
that's exactly what it is.
This is like you wake up after drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And your throat is kind of sore and dry. But if you try to drink something, it hurts. That's what this feels like. I'm like, why is MJ Venom?
And that's the part that I think we're supposed to find out in the very next issue is like, why did Venom choose this, like MJ? Because it isn't clear. Like it's not clear at all as to why she would do this. And that's the part I think that bothers most readers is, well, you mean to tell me that this woman who was tortured by Venom now is working with Venom? Nope, nobody sees anything wrong with this here, right? Like nobody sees anything that's slightly off about this thing.
You know what this screams?
She even roasted Venom in Venom War.
Oh yeah.
When she saw him with Peter again. I don't understand.
Al Ewing needs to be gone.
So yeah, he is. So did you catch up to and read the Venom War? I don't know if you watched.
Yeah.
If you read the Venom War already, or
I might have watched the video from some guy.
Yeah, some random dude. Don't subscribe to him on YouTube. But there was what happened in Venom War was so incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
Because you had this 3-year buildup with Meridius, Eddie Brock being King in Black from before, meeting Eventuality. You had all these things going on. And then he gets killed by his staff. Meridius does. Killed by his staff. And then Eddie Brock loses Venom again. that was the end of the story. The ending of Venom War turned a lot of people off to Venom. And this was their one thing that said, okay, well, at least we get to now see
and
who
this
the
is
Venom host
we're going to
is.
get everyone off. Whoever's left.
Yeah, it was like, no, but this time we're gonna see who potentially has the Venom symbiote. That's exciting. And then we find out that it's MJ, and now we're like, bro, you could have picked.
You know what's funny?
Else.
I read this episode 1 to 5,
like all in
or
one
issue
setting.
1 through 5, one sitting.
Man.
I was truly interested. I was, because I'm reading it on the fucking thing, so I'm like scroll. Okay. Oh, interesting. Cool. Okay. Yeah. All right, we're getting there. Okay. And then this issue hit, and I was like, okay.
And then you were like, oh, that's it? There's no conclusion to this?
Part of me understands the hypocrisy from what I had said before to what I've said now, earlier today, which is tell original stories without relying on shit. So I understand that this is an original story that does change things. The problem is, stop trying to make MJ work. MJ's I'm gonna say it, Goof.
I'm not gonna stop you.
Okay. MJ is the sperm repository for Peter Parker's semen. That is her job in comics. Yes, she's a caring wife and was a caring girlfriend, and they were best friends, and they had a connection, and they had everything. They did. All of that was true. And then some asshole, you know who you are, decided Peter can't be happy. We're going to take it away. We got Brand New Day. We got one more day. We got one moment in time, whatever you want to fucking talk, whatever shitty fucking comics.
Hell.
We got all that shit.
Yep.
They broke up. It didn't splinter the fan base. The fan base was like, that sucks. Some people were aggressively mad about it. Some people were sad about it, but also like, whatever, I'm still reading these books, right?
Yeah.
But nobody was happy about this breakup. And especially like, because it feels shitty. It feels like a comic.
Yeah.
And you know what? For a long time, it hurt and it was fine. Because MJ worked for Tony Stark. She didn't date Tony Stark, but she worked for Tony Stark. So she was still involved. And a whole bunch of other shit fucking happened. Peter became Doc Ock. You know, like Doc Ock went into Peter's body. Some other shit happened. Some crazy shit happened. And then, every now and then you'd run into MJ. Oh, maybe he's going to get back together with Felicia. Nope. Felicia trifling bitch. Okay, cool. But maybe.
I mean, he did sleep with her recently, but yeah,
he did sleep with her recently.
Yep.
Remember when she proposed to him and he was like, what? And then she like tripped him, kicked him in the face, and then ran away. And he was like, my legs, my heart. Like, that was literally a quote. I'll see if I can find it. But it's literally, he's like, my legs. And then in like the smallest print, my heart. Like, I'm like, oh man. But like, it's one of the reasons we love Felicia, because she's like Lucy to his Charlie Brown. You know, like
100%. 100%.
Yeah. And you know, you can create a new character. And then they brought back Gwen fucking Stacy as Gwen Stacy, and that was a whole fucking thing. And then we got Ben Reilly, and then other shit happened, and then we got Chasm. Shit was going on in Spider-Man. And then they're like, you know what? The problem is, MJ sucks when she's not supporting Peter Parker. Because that's who, first of all, let me, I feel like I'm saying some shit that creates a manosphere energy. No. Why is this moving all the time? Oh, it's the ads that are just popping up all the fucking time. No. She supports Peter Parker she's a supporting character to Peter Parker. She was a millionaire supermodel and actress.
Yeah. That
who
part.
Literally supported Peter Parker. She was the sugar mama. She had a very important fucking role in the comics. And that's why Peter didn't have to worry about working for JJ. And that's why Peter didn't have to, he still wanted to, but MJ made enough money that they could live in New York City.
New York City. Yeah, expensive ass New York City.
And he could Spider-Man around while she was on, I think she was on a soap for a while. Like,
good times. The good old days, man.
This is terrible.
It is, bro. It's the worst. It's the worst.
It's one of the worst decisions. Because it's not a storyline where MJ gets the Venom symbiote, which has happened. It's an all new Venom story where now we're forced to read about MJ. You tricked us again, you fucks. Right. And now we're done. And Al Ewing needs to stop, because for all of the value of his creativity, what he sucks at is telling stories people want to hear. He's great at telling stories. No one wants to fucking hear them, though. What if Adolf Hitler became Superman? Like, shut up! Don't do that! We don't want that, you know?
The problem, I think, with Al Ewing is that he has these great, like, premises. Like, they start off so promising. And then it's just like, nope. Right under the rug. It's like, whatever it was that he started, he should have just not. And that's typically what happens with a lot of his stories. It's just, he gives you comic blue balls. That's what he gives you.
But again, it's like Bendis. Balls. He's like every comic book guy, with the exception of Donny Cates. Whatever, as of right now, if Donny Cates touches it, it's 10 out of 10. Donny Cates did the Venom run. Donny Cates did Thor. Whatever he did Immortal Hulk. I think he was involved in Immortal Hulk, but he was definitely involved in one of the Hulks. Whatever he touches, is like, at the very least, fucking interesting. He did Starship Hulk, where like the Hulk was like where Bruce Banner became not like he became in charge of the Hulk, but not like Banner in Hulk's body, like literally in a mine starship piloting the Hulk.
Wow. Okay.
And if he ran out of control, or if the Hulk got too angry, he lost control, and it was an interesting fucking premise, because Banner and the Hulk are both members of that story. It was an interesting story. Was it great? I don't care if it was great or not. It was interesting. Donny Cates, phenomenal. Bendis is another one. Sometimes Bendis tells a story and you're like, God damn, bro. Miles, right? Yeah. God damn, Bendis. And sometimes Bendis tells a story and you're like, go away and never fucking return. Al Ewing did Guardians of the Galaxy great, because Guardians of the Galaxy sucked forever, and then the movies were good, and then we needed a crazy guy telling crazy stories about characters that nobody fucking cares about. And he did it, and it was good. And now he's in charge of Spider-Man, and he's shitting all over the place. He's shitting in his own hands and clapping and patting himself on the fucking back. And then it's equal part. Here's the thing. It's like diehard fanboys who are like, it's great, this is great, everything's great, and nobody's buying the comics. Let me see if I can find the. I don't want to. Oh, I closed it. Okay.
I mean, Jason Aaron is another one that does pretty good stories too. I mean, there's been phenomenal stories from him. I mean, we know about Hickman. The thing about Hickman's stories though is that Hickman sometimes just goes way too far off the mark. And you have to go through the entire arc of the story to understand why we went so far off the mark. Oh, okay.
Hickman. So Hickman's weird. Hickman is like a Nazi in terms of how much control he exerts over the story.
Mm-hmm.
So like Hickman will be, I'm trying to think of a way to put this. Hickman will be like, I'm taking over X-Men again. Here is my treatment of X-Men. These are the things you cannot change. And it's like 10 pages. Right? Yeah. Anyone else who's working on X-Men, I don't want to be bothered with you. Don't fucking send me emails. If it's on this list, don't fuck with it. Anything else is fine. So when you talk about Ewing or Hickman, we talk about the Krakoa era. He nailed it. He fucking nailed it. The core of the Krakoa and X-Men era, the fall of Krakoa, the core of the Krakoa era, the core books, anything Hickman going into AVX, AXE, X Judgment. Yep. Hickman nailed. Because this was the story he was going to tell, and he had his hands on the fucking wheels. And then there was 16 other fucking comic runs, and none of them made a good goddamn lick of fucking sense, and none of them mattered, and it was just like, oh, is this Hickman's run? No, this is just, they were like, Hickman's doing a run, and it's really popular right now. Let's open 16 other fucking comics up. Try to catch the money on this. Like, the entire comic book industry has just become, like, clout chasing TikTok, where like one person does something and then 12 hours later 20,000 people are doing it. Except the comic book industry is like, one writer is writing a good story, so they're like, we're going to tack on as many things to this good story as possible to trick people into buying it.
Yeah,
let's see if it works. Yeah, once. I don't know. Hold on, I'm looking at the comic sales ranks. Oh, Diamond is selling? Diamond is selling. I didn't even get that. Diamond is one of the biggest distributors of comic books in the United States.
What are they selling?
They're selling themselves.
Oh, okay.
they're selling Diamond and Alliance, which is the same company. Are selling everything to a new organization that's just Alliance.
Okay.
There used to be like 3 distributors. Diamond was one of the biggest ones. Alliance was one. And then, oh man, that's crazy. Because they filing indicates Diamond will be sold to Alliance Entertainment. This is fascinating to me, but I get it. I get that not other people might give a shit about that detail. Always a sign of the times, right? When somebody who's been in business for 40 years is selling out, you're like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I guess it happens, but didn't. So yeah, I mean, so comics right now. Let's go to that conversation. So comics right now are in an interesting place, right? So DC actually has some pretty good stories going on, but their name is. It's like you have people who are DC fanatics, and they'll 100% just continue to grab everything, right?
Yeah.
And then
all the absolute shit is fucking fire.
It's really good.
Every single absolute
yeah, it's really good, man.
Is like, remember when they did New 52 and like people read it for a while and were like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, like Absolute, every story that Absolute comes out with. Absolute Flash was a little bit.
It was issue 1.
I was
gonna say that
it was the first issue. I haven't read issue 2 yet, so I can't really make a commentary on that one. But issue 1 was a little rough, right?
Yeah.
But I can see where they're going. Green Lantern issue 1 was just so weird that I'm.
Yeah, but you got to be a Green Lantern fan. Green Lantern is for a very specific kind of sociopath, man. Like
it's a weird story, but it was like a good weird story. I was like, oh, okay. And Green Lantern Core right now, like that's actually a pretty good comic. So DC has some good stuff. The Superman run that's going on right now for them is good. Justice League Unlimited is not bad. The problem with Justice League Unlimited is that it's just too much. It's just, when I read it, I'm like, there's too many characters, and I can't deal with this many characters every single issue, and that's usually my main problem. Is there are too many people to pay attention to. I can't do it anymore. What's going on, Jay? So that's usually where I check out on Justice League Unlimited. That's the reason why I haven't even covered any more of it on the channel, because we're just like, no, we're not doing this. New Gods is a very acquired taste. New Gods is a very much strong acquired taste from DC. But what's interesting about this is that New Gods has been hinting about destroying New Genesis forever.
Hmm?
And now New Genesis is finally getting destroyed 5 volumes later. So I mean, to me, that's what makes it interesting, is that New Genesis is finally getting destroyed. And now the Father is actually he's gonna go fight now, because he hasn't fought in years, centuries, whatever. Like, so that to me brings some level of interesting dynamics to it. But DC's New Gods is also too complex for its own good. And that's also part of the problem with some of their stories.
They have a loyal fan base dating back to the 70s. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
They do. I mean, people are still.
I can't stress
stuff. They do.
I can't stress enough how little I give any fuck about the New Gods. You keep talking to me about it, and you're like, "No, man, you got to read it." And I'm like, "No, I don't."
It's
like, I'm not gonna.
It's good though.
It costs me nothing. Though. It cost me nothing to read it, and I'm still choosing. You'd have to pay me. I don't care. I don't care about the characters. I don't care about, like, dude, I don't read Thor comics. I've read some Thor comics, but now recent Thor comics suck less. But like, no, it sucks. It's terrible. X-Men is in a weird spot right now.
X-Men just, there's too much going on with X-Men.
Yeah. And they have, I think Storm's still rocking. I wanted to read that. I just never got around to it.
Storm is
Doom. I read Doom Division 1.
Oh, how was that? I haven't read it.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
It was dumb.
Okay. It was dumb.
It was dumb. I like. So there was. So Doom Division 1 is part of One World Under Doom.
Yeah.
And the other correlation was like Fantastic Four this month. Whenever won Fantastic Four, that was also under the tag of One World Under Doom. So I read that. You could skip Doom Division 1. It don't matter.
I was going to, so it's good to know that after that.
Don't worry about it.
Truth be told, man, I've been skipping a lot of stuff. What's going on, Wapo? I've been skipping a lot of it in general, a ton of it, man. All of the extra tie-ins for One World Under Doom. I'm just reading the main story because I read the first one. I read the first tie-in after, like, within the first week. I think it was like Doom Academy, and I read the second. I read something else. It was like, is Doom Division the one with like Winter Soldier and Black Widow? Is that the one that you read? Is that it? There was another tie-in with like Winter Soldier and Black Widow.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this, bro. Like, I'm not reading the tie-ins. And I think Desi ended up reading the Ben Grimm one, like something with, like, after Ben Grimm lost his powers. And I was like, this wasn't a terrible story. However, I'm still good. Like, I'm not doing it.
What, you mean you didn't read Godzilla versus the Fantastic Four either?
Yes, he did, and he told me that thing was.
How could you not read that? Wapo, no, the DMC's got an anime out right now, or not anime. It's just animated, and it's on Netflix. It's fucking hilarious. It feels like you're a kid playing Devil May Cry again while you watch it. You're like, everyone's a dick. This is great. And everything is incredibly violent, and people are dying for nothing. Like someone shooting pool balls through people's heads with a cue. Like it's psychotic. What the shit is Helverine? How did I miss Helverine?
Oh, that story is kind of wild. I think there's like some demon that's inside of Dakin. His name's not even Dakin anymore. I forgot what he.
It's Helverine
by now. Well, that part, but it also like his actual name now. Like I don't remember what his actual name is.
Fucking no.
I don't know either. But yeah, there's like some demon from hell that is inside of him that I think used to work with Mephisto or something like that. It's some crazy stuff like that.
Dumb ratchet shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
Did you read the new Daredevil, the Cold Day in Hell?
Yeah, we read that. That was
it good?
Fun.
Do I have to read it? Okay,
you should.
All right.
I like it.
It's
like it's in the post-apocalyptic time, so that can be a little sucky for some people. But
I will continue to not read Ironheart because Ironheart in comics is the worst character ever.
I ignored that one completely. I'd pretend like that never existed.
Yeah, and then thank God we finally got Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe one last time. This is, and I hate using this phrase, This is the most creatively bankrupt. Oh, it was Deadpool kills Deadpool. That was the second one. So it was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Then there was Deadpool kills Deadpool. And now it's Deadpool kills. Like, I get it. Deadpool is really cool to the same people that think tribal tattoos are cool. I get it.
Yeah.
What's the best Onslaught comic run? Red Onslaught? Axis? I mean, technically, Red Onslaught Axis is probably one of the best runs, but that's like the end of that, or the result of the Red Onslaught.
That's what Spider-Man was the only time, and that wasn't even like really a tie-in. It was like its own separate entity within itself. It was like
it's like there's
Amazing Spider-Man.
There's ASM, right?
Yeah,
and then I don't think they have Spectacular up right now, right? ASM didn't restart. ASM,
yeah, they did. Joe Kelly.
When?
Issue 1 just landed yesterday. Oh, Wednesday.
Motherfuck. No, the one, by the way, the one you were talking about was Doom Academy with the Black Widow.
Yeah.
And that was Doom Academy. I didn't read that. I have to. I read Doom. Was
awful. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I won't read it.
There is one coming out though that I am actually kind of interested in. It's like Superior Avengers or something like that. It's
Astonishing Avengers.
Doom's Avengers. I am 100% reading that.
Yeah, the current. I'm telling you, One World Under Doom is currently the best thing that's happened in comics in a really long fucking time. Like it's. And again,
apart from Ultimate Universe, of course.
Oh yeah. Again, I'm not fully in on it yet, but I gotta be. No, like One World Under Doom is giving like, because he's still not a bad guy. Like he hasn't gone back to being a bad guy yet. He used to be a villain and a bad guy, and then he stopped being a villain and stopped being a bad guy, and then he's continued being a villain and stopped being a bad guy. He's like, he trapped Galactus in a mountain so he could power his country based on Galactus as a punishment for Galactus for being such a cunt. He was like, fuck you, Galactus, you're gonna be on my battery.
That was a good, nice little thing.
Strange Academy was really good. I thought Strange Academy was fun. But, whatever. Do you think the Russo brothers are going to deliver and do Secret Wars right? Absolutely not. I think they'll do it fine. I think this is your first time here, right? Yeah. No, I think I think the movies will be fine. But no, I have no faith. I have no faith. None whatsoever. Bro. I have so little faith in the ability of Marvel to tell an emergency audible fucking story regarding the character they haven't. Dude, they set up Thanos for basically a fucking decade of just like post-credit scenes and ideas and what was going on. And now we don't know who the Avengers are. They don't exist. We have no idea. What's Shang-Chi doing right now? What's happening? What are the MacGuffins, right? Like, and then on top of it all, who the fuck is Doctor Doom? We don't know shit about shit. So no, I have absolutely no faith. Am I gonna watch it? Yeah.
I can't wait to see the Avengers.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the new Avengers, who we can only assume is Falcon, Black Cap,
right. That's it.
I'm gonna say She-Hulk. Right?
That's it, man. I mean, who else is it?
Just super deaf Hawkeye, but like he just can't hear anything anymore. Like he's completely deaf. Led by Ms. Marvel. Yeah, just utter. Man. Like, what are we doing? We don't have a leader. Where's Rocket? We need Rocket. We need him so bad.
Rocket was the best of us all, wasn't he? Damn it.
What are the Guardians doing? Where's Thor and his adopted daughter, who's also a god?
Right, bro.
But like not a lowercase g god, like a capital G creation god.
Yeah.
Where's Thor? Like, where are we? During the first three parts of Marvel, my question was always, ooh, where are we going next? Now I'm like, did we turn off wrong? Like, all I see are gun stores and liquor stores. We got to get out of this area. Like, what's going on? Like, we got off the highway at the wrong time. Like, what happened? I don't know. I'm just trying to see other comics. No one's reading. It's Jeff. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. That might be the best story, man. Don't miss out now. Don't miss out.
Well, I was super in on all of the Gwen Stacy, the Gwenverse shit, right?
Yeah, so I didn't know about you being in on the Gwenverse stuff. You know what story I forgot? I stopped reading.
I love
the Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider story. I stopped reading that story.
No,
I stopped reading it.
Why?
It was stupid, but
yes,
I enjoyed
all
the
Gwen stories are stupid.
Stupid, but I enjoyed the stupidity.
Enter the Gwenverse was the best stupid story. It was Capt Gwen America. It was Gwar, which was Gwen Thor.
Yeah.
It was Gwen Vereen. They're just all Gwen. Everyone was Gwen, and I was like, this is the greatest. This was and then there was Dr. Gwen, Dr. Octopa Gwen. I don't remember what she was. But like there was all the bad guys were also Gwen. I was like, this is the greatest story of all time. You gave me what I wanted, which is more Spider-Gwen being a sassy bitch, but different every time. And it was stupid,
man.
But it knew it was stupid. And it wasn't trying to pretend like we're actually about female empowerment. And no, it was like, we're going to do some dumbass shit with the character we love to think is stupid. Hell yeah. Gwenverse, let's fucking go. I love the Gwenverse, man. Not even pretending.
The Gwen story was fun. I think I got to go back. I think there's like 12 issues now. I think I stopped reading at issue 5. So I got to catch up on where we are in that story. I might just like randomly, if it's good enough, I might just randomly cover like the next 7 issues.
I need you to tell me if I'm supposed to be reading X-Manhunt right now.
I didn't read it, so I actually can't tell you. But it's about Professor X on the run, so I mean, already the premise isn't great.
How is Friendly Neighborhoods? Oh, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is based on the
show.
The anime. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. That's a cool tie-in. That's great. I like that. That show was okay.
The show was relatively good for my daughter.
Are you excited for Imperial? I know we don't talk a lot about comics on here, but like, there's not much else going on, and
not really. I mean,
Imperial looks fucking sick, dude.
So there's my thing. Like, I'm always very skeptical of all these things, right? Because like especially with these dope ass covers. Listen, Alien Paradiso or whatever you want to call it, like that looked dope. I was like, yo, that looks like fire. And then the first issue, I was like, I can't possibly do this. But nobody warned me and told me that Alien comics are not good without
they're awful
DC or Marvel heroes. And nobody warned me about this.
That said, the Predator comics, every single one rules. Every single one.
Oh, there's a Predator versus Spider-Man one that's coming out. That's immediate cover. Like that's who are we kidding? Like,
hey, why is Eddie Brock Carnage right now?
No, we rarely talk about comics, Jay. Actually, very rarely. Very rarely.
We'll reference comics. We'll be like, oh, this is something that happened, or this is similar to what happened in these comics. And again, mostly because I just like DC Comics better. DC Comics is actually surprisingly, they have like a strategy of like, we're gonna put out good comics. That's their strategy. Yeah. They're like, we're gonna tell good stories, and then and then an infinite amount of Batman stories. So at any given time in DC, you could read if you pick up a comic that has nothing to do with Batman, it is like 80-20. You're going to get a good story or pick up in the middle of a good story and be like, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Bat Family comics, though. It's the Wild West, man. Did you pick up Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze? Why? Why is that a comic? Why is it on issue 14? What are we doing? Like, anything Batman related, DC has like, just put it out. Someone will fucking buy it. We don't care if it's good. Marvel has the exact opposite. 20% of Marvel comics at any given time. Like individual books. If you took all of the Marvel books that come out, we'll say this month, 20, maybe 30% of them are going to be good. Either good standalone comics, good stories, good additions to stories. And then 80% of them are going to be absolute fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read any of Magic because why the fuck would I?
The first issue was good, though. The first issue, I don't know about the second one.
That's the point. Why would I right now? There was a time where I would have. Mm-hmm. Now is not that time. But maybe it is. I just saw Eddie Brock Carnage, and I'm like, I have more questions than answers, and that comic's not going to give me any.
Yeah. You're not going to... There's some comics that we 100% skip covering until it gets to like issue 4 or 5 or something like that, where it's like, oh, okay, like there's something to talk about now. So we'll catch you up on the nonsense that happened for 3 issues. I did that recently with Wolverine. Like I covered the first issue, Desi covered the second one, and we were both just like, this was not worth anyone's time. So we skipped. We went to 4, covered 3 and 4 together. Then we skipped 5, 6, and skip 5 and 6, and then something crazy in 7 happened, or 6 happened, and we were like, oh, okay, let's cover these together. Sometimes there's just not much going on in a story to talk about.
If you like a specific character, you're more inclined to pick up the Amazing Spider-Knot. What am I reading?
There's an Amazing Spider-Knot?
ASM 70 is Spider-Man with the Juggernaut's powers? Dude, I haven't read ASM in a while because that
was a part of the 8. That's a Spider-Man. That was actually a pretty damn good issue. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was pretty good. No, watching Spider-Man as a Juggernaut was kind of peak. Ultimate Wolverine right now is doing really good. Everything Ultimate Universe.
I'm not interested in any X-Men comics because they already finished a really good X-Men run. It had ups, it had downs, it had good, it had bad. I assume X-Men's gonna suck for a while. I just do.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's like a
X-Men things are Storm right now. That's it.
I believe that. Yeah. Well, like they have Laura Kinney Wolverine, and I'm like, just call it X-23.
Yep,
yeah, like just call it X-23. No, she's Wolverine now. Okay, cool. But she's X-23.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's X-23.
The Summer of Superman comes out next week. What is that about?
I don't care. Superman. I'm watching it. I'm reading it. I'm trying to figure out
who's writing this. Oh, Mark Waid. Mark Waid. Give it a shot.
Doctor Strange of Asgard? What? There's an entire new... That's bullshit. Oh, that's One World Under Doom series. Okay. So the reason that's bullshit is because my comic book store has a standing order to message me or call me whenever a new Doctor... I love Doctor Strange. It's a personal thing. I've read a lot of bad Doctor Strange stories. A lot. A very lot. They are all bad. Actually... I'll even go so far as to say, with the exception of the death of Doctor Strange, most Doctor Strange stories suck. but I love the guy, so I'm like, I don't care, you know. But they know that about me, so they're like, they'll usually call me like, hey, there's a new Doctor Strange run. I'm like, pull it, baby. What's add $4 to my total, like whatever, you know. I'm giving you $30 a month anyway. Like, Astonishing Spider-Man. What is astonishing? Why are they doing astonishing?
Honestly, I can't tell you. I have no idea what.
And follow-up question: why does the Marvel Rivals cover have Sensational Spider-Man on it? That's not a costume you're allowed to use anymore. Sensational was when Ben Reilly took over. Huh. Interesting. Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, 12. Hell yeah. Next week. Can't wait. Let's see what the week after it is. Exceptional X-Men. I don't care. It's got a picture of fucking Sinister on it. I love it.
Oh, that's the. So that's the one. That's the. So let's do a quick rundown here of all the X-Men comics. You have the regular X-Men. You have your. I don't even want to say regular, but you have the X-Men comics, which is Cyclops team. Then you have Uncanny X-Men, which is Rogue's team. Then you have X Factor. Then you have X-Force. Then you have Psylocke, who has her own run. Then you have Exceptional X-Men, which is Kitty Pryde's team. Then you have a Sentinel series that's going on. Then you have a Wolverine series that's going on. Then you have a Storm series that's going on. There was a Mystique series that's going on. Bro, it's too much. It's too much X-Men comics going on right now. So that's the reason why I didn't read Manhunt. Oh, there's an NYX comic that's going on. That's like with Miss Marvel. So that, like, there's too many comics going on. That's the reason why I didn't read Manhunt, because they decided to spread it out over all of these individual comics. That's why I never read it. Because I'm like, I'm not going to read this 9-part series.
I got to put this up on the background just so you can see it. You ready?
Yeah.
Just look at this fucking cover.
Have you put it up yet? Okay.
Uh-huh. Look at how derpy Godzilla looks. This
looks like Yoshi, man.
Look at how derpy Godzilla versus Hulk looks. Oh God,
that's insane.
Why?
No, I haven't read any of the Marvel Rivals comics.
No, I'll check them out. Sonic the Hedgehog XDC. What?
Yeah. I'm telling you, they got some crazy stuff going on.
Here's Superior Avengers.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Superior Avengers, that's like Doom's Avengers team, basically. It's like his Thunderbolts, essentially.
Abomination. Dr. Octopus. Onslaught? Is that Emma? Is that Brother Voodoo?
I can't fully see it because of the chat box, but who's that person with a shield?
That's Doom. No, that's Abomination.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Ghost? I'm confused.
They only mention that Abomination and Doom are in it, so they don't.
Oh, there's a Thunderbolts Doom Strike. So I read that first issue. That's a tie-in to Doom. No. And you said you read Doom's Division, and that wasn't good either?
Doom. My fan of Doom can only support so much bootlicking. I can't just be like, it's Doom, it's great. I could be like, it's Doom, I'll read it, but I can't promise that you should. Oh, look at this Luke Cage. Just look at Luke Cage fucking up Apocalypse. God, I love Luke Cage.
Oh, that's the timeless thing. The timeless stuff is very confusing to me. But that's because I didn't read the original.
I just assume they're just one-offs. Yeah. I assume they're just what ifs, you know, like.
I never read the original one, so I have no idea like what the hell's going on in that.
One World Under Doom 3, Jesus Christ, ASM 2. How are they releasing 2 comics per what's it called? Per brand a month? How are we getting 2 ASM 1 and 2? We're getting 2 Magics. We're getting another Eddie Brock Carnage this month. Like, what are we? Every 2 weeks now they're releasing comics? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Good. That was my biggest complaint. My biggest complaint at all times was like, if you release comics and I have to wait a month, but the comic you release isn't interesting, I'm gonna get bored of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine with them doing it the way they're doing it now. Like,
just leave this here for us.
Is that Maddie?
It is definitely some Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure. Nope, this is Dark Phoenix.
What?
Yeah, X-Men 134. What? Is this just a remake? Is this a re-release?
I was gonna say 134 is a little, yeah.
Yeah, it's a recover. Okay. It's a recover of the OG one. Hey, you know what? No, fuck that. That's awesome. I'm really cool because they also have the original covers too. But no, I don't like that because I don't want like to buy one and be like, oh, I looked and it was the original cover, but it was a reprint. Like, no, give it a new cover, but tell the same story. I think that's awesome. I think that's a great thing to do. Some people can't afford to spend $750 on an original edition of a comic and then also read it. I think it's fine to re-release runs. I think it's cool. I mean, trade paperback does it better, but like, you know, occasionally any major comic issue or run, I think you could re-release them every now and then. I think that's okay. Oh, Absolute Wonder Woman's so good right now. What's going on with Batman?
There's a Thunder War.
Is Hush Batman right now?
There's kind of too many things going on. There's too many storylines because there's like multiple Superman storyline because there's some stuff going on with Action Comics, and then there's like a regular Superman run.
All right, so how many issues of anything do I have to read from the Ultimates, starting with Ultimates? Like before, like after the maker made it, but in Ultimates, not like Alpha. Like, what do I got to do? What is my homework for the week, Goof?
Did you read? My goodness,
I've read nothing under the Ultimates tag.
But you read Ultimate Universe though, right? Like you read that, like
I read Ultimate Universe, yeah.
Okay, so then after that, it's the Ultimates. I mean, the Ultimates is like 12 issues there, but and then you got Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, but these are what are these 6-minute reads, dude? I'm not making videos on it.
Yeah, Ultimate Black Panther.
I'm sitting on my iPad while I'm like naked in bed eating Twizzlers. Like I could read as many as I need to. Like,
as you said Twizzlers, it's funny because my wife literally eats Twizzlers. Like she has.
You know, I own Twizzlers are one of the only candies I'll eat in bed, and the reason why is they don't crumb up, and you literally can't lose them.
You can't.
If I have like, I don't like anything that crumbs in my bed, and I don't like I don't want like a handful of jelly beans because if I drop one, I'm like, well. It's somewhere in my bed until the ants find it, you know, and that's a nightmare for me. So
that's fair.
So like, but Twizzlers, I put it in my mouth and I'm like, boop, 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 just slowly pulling a red rope in my mouth.
if you're just looking to get through some of the comics, I mean, yeah, Ultimate Black Panther is not hard to read. As a matter of fact, like you can get through that pretty fast. I would priority though would be Ultimates and then Ultimate Spider-Man. You can read Ultimate Black Panther whenever. You don't
Why
really.
aren't we talking about Darkwing Duck? They're on issue 3, bro.
Damn, man, I failed my community. I have. Please forgive me, guys. I failed you.
Look at these covers. Look at this. That's it. We're done.
Funny. All right.
I figured we'd leave it at Darkwing Duck.
We're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah. I don't know how we got this far. I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, okay. D&D in like 7 minutes. Fuck. 15, 20, but you know. No, like it's a slow week and I like to talk about comics and I like to get into the only thing is like if they refired the Ultimates universe, it's gotta be a tie-in. We're gonna have another Secret War, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're doing One World Under Doom while the maker is running an entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel is not subtle.
Is supposed to be is 100%. It's not a series, from my understanding. It's an era. Like that was my understanding.
When I saw about because the next major series that's going to happen is Imperial, which is space related. That's what we know. It has to do with space. Excuse me. But One World Under Doom is not going to be the next 3-month event. It's going to be the next rest of the year, give or take. Yeah. And this is why comics suck. I love comics, but why they suck is that if you are like, oh, I'm kind of interested in comics, and you're like, oh, I read this comic I really enjoyed. And I'm like, oh, what was that? Tell me about the comic you enjoyed. And you're like, Eddie Brock Carnage. I'm going to be like, first of all, not canon. Second of all, not fucking canon. Third of all, stop.
Unfortunately.
No, it can't be.
It is, though.
No, but that's the point. Is it canon? It's only canon if the major crossover event that's happening gets an issue of it. You know how I know that? Because Iron Fist got a crossover issue in a comic he wasn't even involved in. Like, that's how you know, like, this is important. I have to read this stupid fucking Iron Fist comic during Judgment Day. I have to read this Iron Fist comic because why the fuck else would I have this?
Yeah, I mean, I asked.
Eddie Brock Carnage.
Eddie Brock Carnage is 100% I don't know what they're doing. As he's letting it cook. He read the first one, and then he was like, this is fun. And he read the second one, and he was like, what the hell is this? So I said, I can't tell you, bro, because I'm not reading it. I already told you from Jump Street I'm not reading that comic. So this is you. So you on your own on this one, man. Just like how I was on my own with some other crap. You're on your own. But listen, it's been almost 2 hours now.
It's too long.
Yeah, we've gone on.
Next week we'll be happy to talk about Daredevil, and then nothing because there's absolutely nothing else. Next week's episode is going to be 16 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's going to be 16 minutes, and then me and Goofy are going to play Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. Marvel Rivals and just talk about Marvel Rivals.
MJ is Jackpot and Venom. Oh, you missed my entire thing, Jay. You came in after, I think, when I was like, when I discovered that MJ was Venom, and I was so mad that they keep trying to make Fetch happen. Yeah. Like, I'm like, you can't make me care about MJ if she's not sugar momming Peter Parker. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week. Because this is